Well, we're getting information from the Owens Valley Committee that 4 Owens Valley Committee representatives were granted entry to the first all-day Lower Owens River Project Summit meeting, and that was on Tuesday, July 29th. Now, participants included Los Angeles Department of Water and Power staff and attorney, Inyo County staff, water commissioners and attorneys, Sierra Club representatives, consultants, and an attorney, California Department of Fish and Wildlife staff, consultants, ecosystem scientists, and 3 lessees. Now, the press release notes that neither media nor interested members of the public were permitted entry, despite the Owens Valley Committee's request that the meeting be open for observation. Now, the press release states that the Lower Owens River Project is compensatory mitigation for over 20 years of LADWP water gathering in the Owens Valley, and rewatering began in December 2006. Now, the purpose of this summit was to share information and perspectives on the Lower Owens River Project conditions, and presentations were provided by consultants and DWP, as well as Inyo County Water Department personnel. Now, the group heard about water flows, fish, wildlife, and plants, and rancher Scott Kemp also provided information about the condition of his lease that covers a portion of the LORP. Now, the presentations revealed positive trends resulting from over 7 years of rewatering. The fishery is improving every year, birds are more abundant, and cattle are well managed. Now, concern about the amount of tules was discussed at length, and their presence is positive or negative depending on their location and density. The press release goes on to state that the consultants explain that tules, which are tall reeds that thrive in saturated conditions, help purify water of poor quality that comes into the LORP from Tinnamaha Reservoir, but they also degrade water quality as they seasonally decompose and rob the water of oxygen. It was also learned that below Mazurka Canyon Road, according to scientists and rancher Scott Kemp, the river is obstructed in several places. There may be several causes for these obstructions, including beaver dams, overgrowth of tules, and the condition of the riverbed before commencement of the LORP. Now, the first day ended with a proposal by DWP to modify flow regimes, and their proposal included increasing not only the amount of water released to the LORP, but also the amount of water pumped back to the aqueduct so that water does not spill onto Owens Lake. A lively discussion ensued, according to that press release, and time ran out before any conclusions were drawn. Now, the field trip was scheduled for today, with the conclusion of the Lower Owens River Project Summit on Thursday. Well, the man was arrested Tuesday after a standoff with police and barricading himself inside a residence. Now, according to a press release from the Inyo County Sheriff's Department, at 11:40 a.m. Tuesday, Inyo sheriffs, with the assistance from Bishop Police Department, California Highway Patrol, and Bishop Tribal Police, responded to the area of Palmy Lane regarding a male subject threatening a Southern California Edison employee with a firearm. The Edison employee was working near the male subject's property at the time. Now, the press release states that the male subject, who was identified as 38-year-old Samuel Wayne Vega Jr., barricaded himself inside of that residence upon the arrival of law enforcement. Press release states that after a brief standoff, Vega's family, along with personnel from the Sheriff's Department, talked Vega into exiting the residence, where he was taken into custody, transported to Inyo County Jail in Independence, and he was booked on charges of assault with a deadly weapon, brandishing a deadly weapon, making terrorist threats, and a felon in possession of a firearm. Vega was being held on a $25,000 bond. Well, hiker Austin Shedd, age 13, from Mammoth Lakes in Carlsbad, who was reported missing early Monday, was found late Monday night. He was airlifted from the Bench Lake area of Kings Canyon National Park on Tuesday just after 10 a.m. Now, before transport, a paramedic evaluated Shedd and found him to be uninjured and in good condition. And at 10:33, the helicopter arrived at the Ash Mountain area of Sequoia National Park. That's near park headquarters, 3 Rivers. Shedd had been reunited with a member of his family. Incident operations concluded on Tuesday, and a total of 28 National Park Service employees from Sequoia and Kings National Parks were involved in rescue operations. Efforts included assisting Shedd to the helicopter landing zone and returning searchers to their normal work locations. And you can see more on this story on our website, sierrawave.net. Well, the Inyo County Grand Jury report for 2013-2014 was released earlier this month, giving reports on the Inyo County Jail, the Inyo County Juvenile Detention Facility, the Bishop Police Department, California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitations, that's the Owens Valley Conservation Camp number 26, as well as Inyo County water systems in Lone Pine, Laws, and Independence. Now, the full report is available for view on our website, and copies of that report are also available at the Inyo County Clerk's Office in Independence, as well as at county libraries. Now, among the findings, we'll start with the Inyo County Jail, which mentions AB 109, noting that the new law, and I'm quoting from the grand jury report, quote, has created new problems in an attempt to reduce overcrowding in state prisons, and that county jails must take some prisoners from state facilities. And this has resulted in several local ramifications, including inmates serving longer terms, long-term medical care costs, and more sophisticated career-type criminals. State prison gangs with their criminal experience have begun to spread to the county level. Now, the report also states attorneys do not meet with inmates at the jail before trials. Jury trials are often postponed or canceled at the last minute, end quote. Now, a recommendation does say in order to save time and money within the next year, Superior Court judges should establish procedures requiring attorneys to meet with inmates at the jail prior to setting court dates. Also, the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitations, as we said, that's the Owens Valley Conservation Camp. Among the findings, supervised inmates can regularly be seen shopping at local stores for camp supplies, which has concerned some citizens. Now, the report states that this is part of their rehabilitation and reintegration into society, and for safety purposes, correctional officers are required to remain within a certain distance of them while in public. Although they are in public, they are still inmates, and as such, are not allowed to have unauthorized contact with community members. Doing so may jeopardize their privilege to live at the camp, end quote. Now, a recommendation is to conduct a local annual information campaign for public awareness. And again, more on this story and the entire 2013-2014 Inyo County Grand Jury report is on our website, sierrawave.net. We'll be back with more news.